Hi everybody and welcome to the channel. In this video I'm going to introduce the car and go over all of the issues with it. It was a pretty cheap Mustang that I picked up on OfferUp, and it was actually the cheapest Mustang in the Phoenix area. Has a number of issues, but it is going to serve as a project car, and on the channel we'll be posting lots of videos on the different repairs and upgrades that we make to the car. I'm going to run through some of the issues it has currently so you get an idea of where we're starting from. So you can see right away the paint's in pretty bad shape. The clear coat clearly has failed due to the Phoenix sun and is modeled. It was made a lot worse by a previous owner's attempt to do a backyard fix using some spray can paint. And that's just all mixed together, creating this really uneven, kind of weird, glossy, faded, mottled look. Got that going on the hood. Got more of that going on up here on the roof. So clearly paint is going to be something that we're going to need to address. Got some other things. The cowl is long gone. These often, get very brittle and break on these Mustangs, and this one certainly has done that and is completely actually missing from this car, along, of course, with the windshield washer nozzles. So that is a missing system that is going to have to be repaired. Got a missing radio antenna. I have to address that. A number of other sort of quirky things going on here. 15-inch wheels on a Mustang GT. So that's clearly not factory. Somebody at some point must have sold the 17-inch wheels that likely came with the car and then slapped these cheap 15-inch, probably off of a V6 on here. So the rims are wrong, the tires are totally the wrong size, throwing off the speedometer, so we've got that going on. The body's fairly straight. It's got a few dings in it, but it's not got any sort of major issues. And the Carfax says no accidents, so that's a good feature there. It has 300,000 original miles with no evidence of a rebuild ever. Original engine, original drivetrain, original transmission. The transmission does have a pretty serious flutter between gears 2 and 3, so likely the automatic transmission needs some attention as well. We'll see what is involved there when we get into that. Headlights, pretty faded, pretty fogged up. Clearly going to have to fix those. The interior is just a mess. Dropping a photo here to give you a sense of what we're dealing with there. Just completely dirty. And the other thing I noticed is many of the panels are just broken. The A-pillar's cracked, the stereo bezel is completely cracked. Several of the other plastic panels, the console's cracked in a couple places, door panels are wrecked. So a lot of interior work. Carpet's disgusting. A lot of interior work going to happen. You can see I've got at least one replacement door panel there against the garage wall, so I've already gotten a jump on that. But clearly a lot of interior work needs to happen, including just a lot of plain cleanup because it is disgusting inside. And then coming down here along the side of the car, you can see it is fairly straight. We've got those 15-inch wheels again in the back that needs to be addressed. Can't see it unless we get under the car, but the other thing that's really odd about this car is it has the wrong axle. This should have come from the factory with an 8.8 rear end axle, and this one has a 7.5. Now, you would have found that on a V6 Mustang of this era, but not on a GT. So clearly somebody grenaded the original factory axle at some point and just either didn't know what they were doing or didn't want to pay for it and grabbed a junkyard V6 axle and threw it on there. So we've got that issue going on. Got some more issues with the paint in the back, just dings and faded. Tail lights are in pretty good shape. That's a plus. Some of the weather stripping is okay. Some of it's pretty messed up. Like you can see the rubber here is in pretty bad shape. So we're going to need to address some of that. And generally you get the car cleaned up. Engine seems to run okay. We'll get into looking into that and seeing what it might need. Air conditioner is broken, so we'll need to address that as well. But in general, this is the 300,000 mile Mustang in all its dirty, broken glory right now. And if you look at the additional videos on this channel, you'll see some of the work we're doing to restore this car and get it back to spec.